most of the things, Srimad Bhagavatam and DT service and any services that we do are to help us to get to this stage of chanting, where our eternal relationship with Krishna is revealed in the holy name. That is why we are practicing bhakti. So everything that we do in bhakti has to take us to this stage where our eternal relationship with Krishna can be revealed through the holy name. That is the unique position of the holy name. Very important point. We have to keep that in mind. And that's why we have 2 hours of Harinam every day, japa. Starting from Chetodarpana Marchana, it will take us to so much deeper levels as described here, reviving our eternal relationship with Krishna. So we should look forward to that, keep that in mind, and do our bhakti, gearing towards that goal. Pure love is never selfish. Okay, and we read this one too, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila. Now, commentary by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura. That also we have gone through, the absolute truth. And definition of japa, kirtan, and samkirtana. Samkirtana is not partial but complete glorification. Not partial chanting, but complete chanting with our complete presence there. Samkirtana. And that cleanses the heart. And we have discussed about this point. What if we are not at that stage yet? We are just trying to, purify ourselves. So we are not completely there at Samkirtan yet. But somehow we are just going on with the chanting. That is also fine. As long as we are sincerely doing our best to pay attention to Krishna's holy name and not voluntarily showing disrespect to the holy name, like chanting on one side, doing something else on the other side, like that. So as long as we are not deliberately being inattentive and disrespectful to holy name, and as long as we are trying our best to be regular in Harinam and to focus on the holy name, then it comes under clearing stage. Clearing stage is a process. It takes its own time, like months and years, because it's a cleaning process. Over a period of time, all the thoughts that we have, distractions we have, everything, they kind of slow down. They kind of become less. So we may be able to focus on Harinam more. That happens gradually over a period of time. So until then, we just have to continue to sincerely do our best. And that comes under Nama Abhasa, clearing phase. So we are on our way to Samkirtan. We cannot just skip that and start chanting, and day one we can do Samkirtanam with full attention. That will not happen. The clearing phase will be there for all of us. And as sincerely as we can try to keep that clearing phase as least as possible. In other words, pay attention to Harinam, follow the instructions and do it accordingly like that. Then we will be able to get closer to that Samkirtana. So it's a process, not a one-step thing, not an overnight thing. And Samkirtanam, or the result of Samkirtanam. So as we get closer to that Shuddhanama, in other words, as we go, progress more and more in the clearing phase, all these effects will be felt more. All that is said here, the transcendental knowledge, the transcendental bliss, cooling shelter. And so all that is said is felt more. But we have to remember, Though we are in the clearing process, from the beginning itself, when we started bhakti with commitment, from then itself our auspiciousness has already started. And we have discussed that in Bhakti Bhasyam. Shubhada and what is that? Kleshagni. These two things, they start happening from the very beginning itself. But they are like this. See, when the leaves open, they just don't open all of a sudden in a second like that. They gradually open. You see a little leaf bud, and then a folded leaf, a small folded leaf, and that folded leaf grows bigger a little bit. And slowly that folded leaf becomes fully open. And then the full leaf grows to full size like that. So Shubhada, that means all auspiciousness, and Kleshagni, that means removal of the miseries. They will start, all those good things will start from the very beginning when we start taking the process of bhakti. But the effect will be felt more and more over a period of time. So that we have to remember. Okay. And okay, I think this is where we have to start now. References and quotes from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur as Sri Bhasyam. So they are trying to tell us more about Chetadarpana Marjana. Okay, so far good. Can we move on from here? If we can move on, yes, somebody please start reading. Yes, please start reading. Yeah.
References and quotes from Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Sri Bhajana Shraya.
Bhajana Rahasya.
Bhajana Rahasya, sorry. The first perfection, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, the holy name cleanses the mirror of the heart. The contaminations that cover the mirror of consciousness is swept away by chanting the holy name. The holy name is the embodiment of profound spiritual bliss. For example, Srila Rupa Goswami writes in the 7th stanza of the Namastaka. Sudhita Jana. Mataji, please present.
So, Sudhita Shrita Janarti Rasaye Ramya Chidkana Sukha Swarupine Nama Gokula Mahotsavayate Krishna Purna Vapuse Namo Namaha.
O holy name, O Lord Krishna, you dissipate the sufferings, offenses against the holy name of your surrendered devotees. You possess a transcendental form of ecstatic beauty and bliss, and you appear as the figure of sublime joy for the residents of Gokula. You are therefore a fully spiritual entity of the same spiritual nature as the Vaikuntha planets. I offer my repeated obeisances to you.
See, look at this. The Harinam that we are chanting, the Harinam that we are given, those are just not the words. What are our Acharyas saying? What is Srila Rupa Goswami saying? O holy name, O Lord Krishna. Means Lord Krishna is in the holy name when we are chanting. And as we are chanting, what is happening? All the sufferings are being dissipated. Remember, we just talked about Kleshagni, how the sufferings go away. And you possess a transcendental form. So in the words that we utter, there is a personality, Krishna, and he has a form, and he has these qualities, the beauty and the bliss. And what is he saying here? You are therefore a fully spiritual entity of the same spiritual nature as the Vaikuntha planets. So, holy name has Nama, Krishna, that Krishna, that Nama has Rupa within it, and Guna are qualities, the beauty and the other, 64 qualities of Lord Krishna. That Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, the pastimes are also present. So basically, holy name is spiritual world. The whole spiritual world is present in the holy name. And who are present in the spiritual world? Krishna, Lord Krishna, his energy, his devotees, his qualities, his interactions with the devotees. So the whole piece of Raja, that spiritual realm, is present in the holy name. And we want to get through this process of cleansing and start perceiving it. How would that happen? Holy name has to reveal itself on its own accord. We cannot penetrate it. It has to shine through. See, for example, sun. If sun is glowing outside so bright and we are in the room, dark room, somebody has to unlock us from outside. It's like, when Gurudev is giving us the Diksha and giving us the Harnam, then we are being unlocked to see the sun, to see the light outside. Yeah, as the unlocking happens, as the door slowly opens, we don't see the sun directly. Thoda sa, we start seeing the rays of the sun coming into the room. And then finally, when we are taken out, then we will see the sun. The sun has not only the light, it has the form. Right? Sun is not just a globe. When we get close to the sun, there is sun god there. Sun god is there and sun god is interacting there in his planet. Like that. So holy name is the same thing. Right now, we are like in dark room. That's why we don't perceive any light or effulgence of the holy name. But as we continue to put our efforts sincerely and then do the Harinam in the mood of Siksastakam and avoiding the offenses, these two are very important points. That's why in any temple room, in any temple, anywhere, before the japa, these two are recited. Because one has to get into proper mood to serve the holy name. See, when somebody does the deity service, they have to prepare themselves. They cannot just be walking on the street and then get onto the altar. They have to be clean, they have to get ready and take food within certain period of time. So their service is not obstructed like that. So that is a preparatory phase for the deity service. In the same way, for Harinam, this recitation of Chaitanya Siksastakam is a preparatory phase for our mood. It reminds us of who we are, in which stage we are now, with no taste at all, in the darkness. And who are we actually? We are Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavambuda. Tanuja Kinkaram. I am actually your Kinkara, O Nanda Tanaya. But look at my condition. So please pick me up. So that Siksastakam prepares us with the right mood. So we can worship the holy name. We can chant the holy name properly. And the 10 offenses, when we read it, not just reading for reading's sake, most of the times that's what happens, unfortunately. But when somebody is vigilant, they will use the time when they're reciting the 10 offenses to get the essence of what those 10 offenses mean. What are we supposed to avoid? What are we supposed to do to prepare ourselves so the japa can go on well? So these two things have to happen before we start the japa. And that's why these two things are recited before the japa. Then our mood is appropriate to start the puja of the holy name. Yeah. So that preparatory stage is very important. We tend to not give so much of importance to the preparatory stage. And we tend to look at the whole thing as 2-hour process, let me get over. And we wonder why we don't get the result, why we don't get the taste. The prescription is the preparatory process also. Okay, I think I'll pause here. It was only one verse, but yeah, maybe, yes, we will do this one too. The second perfection, Bhava Mahadava Agni Nirvapana. So first one is this saying that Kleshagni, the sufferings are taken away by Krishna that is present in the holy name as we are chanting. So we want to remember all these words that are uttered by acharyas about the holy name. These are all glories of the holy name, the reality about the holy name. So these are the facts that we want to hanker to and anchor upon to. When we hold the bead bag, when we are chanting Krishna's name, instead of mind talking something about someone and whatever, these are the things that should ring in our mind and in our heart about this holy name, what this holy name is, and what are our acharyas talking about the holy name. So all these things, when we think about all these words of the acharyas and shastra about what that holy name is, then automatically our mind doesn't go here and there. It will be with the holy name that is being done because we are thinking about the holy name like that. So instead of turning on some other cassette in the mind, it's better to turn on this cassette of what holy name means. Turn on the Acharya's cassette, Shastra cassette of what holy name means. And then the mind will be there with the holy name. Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapana. Yes, please, somebody go ahead.
The second perfection, Bhavamaha Davagni Nirvapanam, the blazing fire of material existence of extinguished. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, Nata Param Karma Nibandha Kritanam Mumuksatam Trita Padanu Kirtanat Nayat Punah Karmasu Sajjate Mano Rajah Tamobhyam Kalilam Tato Anyata.
Yeah.
Therefore, one who desires freedom from material bondage should adopt the process of chanting and glorifying the name, fame, form, and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at whose feet all the holy places stand. One cannot derive the proper benefit from other methods, such as pious atonement, speculative knowledge, and meditation in mystic yoga, because even after following such methods, one takes to fruitive activities again, unable to control his mind, which is contaminated by the base qualities of nature, namely passion and ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hari. Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji.
Yeah. So, desires freedom from material bondage. This is the potency of the holy name. This is given only by holy name, but not by any other processes that were described here. Just acquiring some information and doing some tapasya and doing some mystic yoga, having some mystic powers. All these things, they cannot remove our karma. They cannot remove our karma, and they cannot remove our miseries, and they cannot put us out of this material bondage, samsara sagar. Only Krishna, bhakti can bring us out of it. And the very Krishna is present in the holy name. And when we are doing the holy name like puja, that itself is bhakti. So immediately, as we are uttering that each name of Lord Hari, each time we are uttering, as if we are doing puja, then that much amount of karma is being washed away just with the utterance of name of Lord Hari. And when compared to all these other processes where we struggle so much hard, no karma is being washed away. So how powerful and potent is the name of Lord Hari? Just that with the utterance of one transcendental name of Lord Hari, with that faith and sincerity, as we do puja, when we do the puja, we do it with that faith that if we do this puja, then we get this result. And we are so much invested and involved in that puja. When we sit for yajna or puja, same with the holy name. If I'm doing this puja of the holy name, then this will take away my miseries. This will get me out of my material bondage. And each time I'm uttering the holy name, my karma is being washed away. And I'm being brought from the dark room. And slowly the sun's rays will come. And then I will not bump into anything and bruise myself in the dark room. So the good times will come. So with that enthusiasm, with that faith, we are not just building up that enthusiasm and faith from our mind. No, we are receiving all this information from Shastra and Acharya. So our enthusiasm and our faith in the holy name is based on this strong foundation of Shastra and Acharya. This is where we need to stand, on the foundation of Shastra and Acharya. And we should vigilantly build that faith and enthusiasm and invest our time to do that puja of the holy name. And we will see the results coming. It is an endorsed one, not something that is cooked in the mind and we are trying to just muster it, out of nowhere. So that kind of faith, that kind of enthusiasm we should have on the holy name. And how will we get that? See, when we are standing on the strong foundation of the Shastra given by the Acharyas, and when we are discussing this discussion is glorification of the holy name. Means we are knowing the reality of what the holy name means. So anything that we talk about the holy name is discussion of the glories of holy name. So when we are hearing about this holy name from Shastra and the Acharyas, that is our main business, because that's the foundation that we want to stand on. When we stand on that foundation, our thinking process and our faith will be strong. Then our puja also will go on well. And then the results also will come well. If we don't stand on this strong foundation of what Shastra and Acharyas are giving, and if we just go think of something else, somebody else, and just do the Harinam as a mechanical thing, not standing on this strong foundation, but standing on whatever our tape record in the mind is about what's going on, then the effect will be different. Though there can be some benefit? The benefit will be more when we stand on this foundation. So we have to be vigilant and see ourselves if we are standing on this foundation when we are chanting our japa. So that is something that we can do. It is in our hands. Instead of standing on some worldly cassette that goes on in the mind, let us turn on this cassette of Shastra and Acharya about the holy name, and then that will bring all the enthusiasm that we need. The focus will automatically come. Yeah, so we'll pause here, and I'll let you say your take-home points. He says only removing the miseries, only the first part, Bhavamahadavagni Nirvapanam and Chetodarpanam Arjanam. By this time, there will be so much cleansing happening that it is almost like you are steady. You will get to steady, and you are with the holy name, and you are absorbed in the puja of the holy name by this time itself. And what to speak of the other stages as we move on. Okay, I'll pause here.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
This Siksastakam and will that fall under aligning phase or grounding phase?
Prabhu, your voice is Akashvani. We can't hear properly.
Mataji, this Siksastakam and 10 offenses, will that fall under aligning phase or grounding phase, Mataji?
Yeah. Good question. It starts with the grounding, but that the same thing will continue further. It will continue with aligning and bonding also, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah, because in the Siksastakam, by the time we come to Trinadapi Sunichena, it means we are getting to that's past grounding. When that mood comes, that is past grounding. Okay. And when the mood of Ainanda Tanuja Kinkara comes, that's past aligning. It is coming into Sharanagati.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
It just gets deeper, Prabhu. We only recite it in the beginning. It means we are just on the surface. But as the chanting goes on, the same goes down as scuba diving.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah.
Mataji, is my voice clear now, Mataji?
Yeah, it is clear now, Prabhu.
Okay.
But that is how we should be doing the japa. We have to get into that, the scuba diving tube. Otherwise, we would just stay on the surface only, and we will see what? This ocean, it has so much of dirt in there. I see only plastic bags, and my boat is going here and there. I don't see anything that Shastra said, Acharya said. Of course, yes, we have to get deeper, get into the tube and dive down. And Siksastakam prayers will help us do that.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare. Anybody? Anything else?
Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Actually, in Chetodarpana Marjanam lane, in the explanation, it mentions like the holy name dissipates the sufferings, right, Mataji?
Right. Yeah.
And in the bracket, it says like the offenses made during japa, I think so.
Right, yeah.
But usually sufferings means by past karmas, right, Mataji?
Yeah. Sufferings are basically the mind is going in the future or in the past. See, in the past, when it goes in the past, there is guilt, sadness. When it goes into the future, there is anxiety. Like that. But what holy name does is, it brings the mind to present with the holy name.
Okay.
And then the mind will not go into the past or into the future. There is no sadness or guilt, and there is no anxiety. It is present in the moment with the holy name. And what is the holy name? It's Krishna himself. Sachit Ananda Vigraha. There is Ananda there, right? And that's why mind starts experiencing that happiness. And this is how all the karma is being washed away also. As the mind is being with the holy name and not going in the past and future, all the mind going into the future and mind going into the past is because of whatever we have done in the past. All that is being, the software is all being changed now during the japa. We are changing the software. We are trained. The mind is now coming under the control of Harinam. So in that way, whatever karma was there is being washed away. All the offenses that we made is also because the mind is going here and there.
Yeah.
Right? So the karma or offenses is all because mind is going here and there than being with Krishna. And what Harinam is doing is bringing the mind to Harinam instead of going here and there in the past or in the future. So Harinam has that potency and strength to bring that mind to keep with Harinam, with Krishna. Krishna has that potency. And that's what it means. And that's how all the offenses also will go away and all the karma also will go away. And that is why it is said, Niraparadha Nama Leile Pai Premadana. If only our chanting can be offenseless, means if the mind is with Krishna in the holy name, all the karma that we have done in the past, all the karma that we might be doing in the future, they are all burnt away. That is what Rupa Goswami was speaking in the first verse. That potent is that Harinam. And when the karma is being washed away, it means the offenses are also being washed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Okay. So we'll pause here then for today. And thank you so much for your time. So we could hear this wonderful glories of the holy name from our acharyas. Then, we'll meet again on Monday. Okay. Thank you. Vancha kalpatarupyascha kripa sindhubhyo vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Acharya Vata ki jai. Harinam Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Namaste.